some advice on how to help it, and then she prescribes some medication.
Right.
Then the other 15% gets weird fast.
There's a moment in the show that's a really beautiful moment where you're describing driving to the West Coast and just understanding how small you are in the world and what a comfort that is, and having a moment where like anxiety lifts and all the bad feeling that you have about yourself lifts. And it reminded me of this, the first time I took ecstasy, like years ago. I had this
no one saw that coming, right?
Like I had this experience where I think in my daily life, like I'm carrying a lot of anxiety all the time and a lot of worry, and I remember taking ecstasy for the first time, and like it just lifts that, or it did for me. And I remember thinking like, wait a second, is this an experience other people have all the time, of not having anxiety all the time? Like, and I really felt like, oh, I need to learn something about this. That like this could be a thing that you could have a moment where you're not just totally anxious, and I said that to my therapist, and he's like, that is such bullshit. He's like, this is the thing that gets me so angry, that people think that you can get to a point where you're not anxious. He says, if you're an adult and you're awake, then it's appropriate to be anxious. And he's like, this idea, he says, you know, people come in here and they say a lot of things. This is the one that annoys. This guy's a strict Freudian too, and he never talks about himself. Like I know so little about him. He has this like huge beard, and he talks exactly like Woody Allen. like it's hardcore New Yorker, Central Park, Upper East Side therapist. Yeah, and like this was the one time he's like, this annoys me, because people think this is true, and it's not true.
Yeah, although a very good friend of mine who was in Don't Think Twice, Gary. You remember Gary Richardson?
Yeah, of course.
He called me we were hanging out maybe 2 weeks ago, and he's like, dude, I had this experience. I wanted to tell you about it. And I was like, what's that? And he's like the most laid back dude. And he says to me, he's like, so I was like with my girlfriend, and I was up for this job, and it was very stressful, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get it. And then I also found out that my identity had been stolen the same week. And I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was telling her like, I don't feel sick, but my stomach feels weird. And she said to me, Gary, that's what anxiety is. And he was like, dude, I had anxiety for the first time. I was like, fuck you, Gary.